Continuing from the previous episode, we'll consider some more examples and questions relating to using the definite article the as a clue word. Let's look at this example. The passage talks about how lightning happens.
A. Once a channel has formed, it is usually used by several lightning discharges, each of them consisting of a stream of electrons from the cloud meeting a stream of positive particles along the established path. B. Sometimes, however, a stream of electrons flowing in an established channel is met by a positive stream making a new path up from the ground. C. The result is a forked lightning that strikes the ground in two places. D. Target sentence. The descending stream of electrons divides at the point where the new positive stream channel intersects the established path. The target sentence includes several thes. Among these, the new positive stream and the established path are the clues as they refer to things mentioned earlier. The sentence should come after those clue words. When we scan the sentences, we notice that both A and B, but not C, have the words relating to the clue words in the target sentence. So the target sentence must come either after A or after B. To determine which, we need to look for more clues. For this, examine the cohesiveness of ideas between A and B. Usually, and sometimes, however, are fixed expressions to talk about an exception to the rule.
Sometimes means that something happens occasionally or every now and then. Usually means that something happens most of the time or almost all of the time. This is an example of sometimes and usually in a sentence. Usually I cook meals at home, but sometimes I have a takeout.
In other words, A and B are cohesive, so the target sentence must come after B. Placing the target sentence after B, the idea flows naturally. A talks about the usual lightning discharges where a stream of electrons and a stream of positive particles meet along the established path. B talks about an unusual case where a new path was made by a positive stream. So A and B are indeed in a contrastive relationship. So, after B is the place for the target sentence.
The target sentence says that the descending electron stream divides at the point of intersection between the established path and the new path made by the positive stream. And this is how a forked lightning is made, as described in C. Let's consider the following three sentence insertion questions based on Mayan culture.
A. The Maya homeland lies 1,600 kilometers from the equator in a habitat termed a seasonal tropical forest. B. The habitat has a rainy season from May to October and a dry season from January through April. C. If we focus on the wet months, the Maya homeland can be called a seasonal tropical forest, but if we focus on the dry months, a seasonal desert. Where would the sentence best fit? The difference between the two climates challenged the Maya, who had to deal with both. The target sentence has clue words, the two climates. So we need to look for a sentence that talks about the two climates of the Maya homeland, but none contain the word climate. Since the antecedent of climate is implicit, we need to look for a description that is a climate, specifically two climates. The first sentence talks about one climate, so it is not a candidate. Consider the second sentence that talks about two seasons, a rainy season and a dry season. Can these two seasons be the antecedent of the two climates? The answer is no, because seasons are not climates. Seasons change as seasons focus on variables in the weather. So any place on Earth can have seasons, like the summer season in the North Pole and the winter season of the North Pole. By contrast, climates are constants, so they are specific to geographic locations. Each location has its own climate, so the two seasons are not the antecedents of the two climates. The third sentence, however, does talk about two climates of Maya. That is, when focusing on the wet months, the Mayan land is a seasonal tropical forest, and when focusing on the dry months, it is a seasonal desert. So the two climates in the target sentence must refer to what is said in the third sentence. The target sentence must come after this sentence. The above example, of course, can be answered even if you do not know terms for seasons are different from terms for climates, since you can use the context clue that the Maya had to deal with both. The target sentence cannot be inserted between B and C, as the ideas flow logically. As the example reveals, when the antecedent is not explicit, you will need to use not only a logical clue like demonstrative words, but also content words to check the flow of the ideas.
Pause the video and try to answer by yourself.
The target sentence talks about the civilization of the Maya of the Yucatan. The keywords in the target sentence are the Maya of the Yucatan and the harsh jungle. A talks about the general Maya civilization. B talks about the origin of the migration of the Mayan people to the Yucatan Peninsula. C continues B, talking about the completion of the migration of the Mayans to the Yucatan. Since the target sentence talks about the Mayan culture in the Yucatan, the target sentence should come after C. Answer: D.
Pause the video and try to answer by yourself.
The target sentence contains old and new information. The old information is the divergence. Divergence means separation, division, or branching out. So the target sentence should come after something of division. The new information is Mayan hieroglyphic writing. So the target sentence must come before writing. A talks about numerous distinctive Mayan languages, that is, the divergence of the language, so A is a good candidate. Furthermore, B talks about writing, so the target sentence should come before B.
This is the end of using the definite article the as a clue word. In the next episode, we'll examine questions relating to using demonstrative pronouns as clue words.